Coming from the floor of the CME Group, I'm Eric Wolfman Wilkinson. Let's get in the zone, the cash money zone. It's Monday, March 19th. What are we going to be talking about today? Well, a bunch of Fed governors are speaking. It's the first time we've really gotten to hear them talk after the FOMC meeting. We've heard from Fisher. He's a hawk on inflation. Now we're going to hear from Dudley. He's a dove on inflation. All right, I'm going to try and get you this little graph of a Fedometer, if you will. It'll show who's a hawk, who's a dove, and who you need to listen to. All right, take that. I'm not going to really talk much about Apple other than an apple today isn't going to keep the Fed away, because now they're going to start paying dividends, $2.65 on their dividends. That should send the stock prices up, because people that like to invest in companies that don't pay dividends will now start investing in Apple. That's probably a good thing for their stock. They might even be able to recoup some of these dividend payouts by the increase in value of their stock, and they're going to be buying $10 million worth of their own stock also with that $100 billion war chest of money they got sitting there stockpiled. What do you do with it? Tough problem, I guess. All right, take that. All right, what am I trading? That's what everybody asks me. Why aren't I trading the Fed funds? Well, because they're dead right now. The Fed isn't expected to do anything for the next couple of years, really, and I'm not going to sit in there and watch my life waste away. So I'm in here in the corn. One thing that sent corn market skyrocketing last week was the depreciation of the dollar, the devaluation of the dollar, but there's also a couple other things that have been coming out. China has a stockpile of grain that they put away wet. It's called putting it up wet. That means when they went into the fields and took this out of the ground, they put it into the silos wet. They didn't have the proper 21st century infrastructure in order to dry out this corn. So what's it doing? It's starting to rot. And the stuff that was dried out is starting to get mold. That's not going to be used by human consumption. Therefore, that's why we saw the prices really spike up. Now, a couple other things like I've been talking about. Farmers in the United States are starting to plant the earliest we've seen in history. We got Greene County here in Illinois, Bass Farm. They started planting last week. First time ever in Illinois this early in the season. So what does that do? That makes people think that the yields on corns are going to go up, which brings the prices back down. That's what we're seeing today. We saw about a dime drop right off the morning. Now we're starting to see a bit of a dead cat bounce. We've kind of topped off at that some of the resistance areas we've talked about in corn. 673 is going to be my next resistance above this 666 area that we're really trading hard today. That was going to be a first resistance. I talked about it last week. If we come off, we're going to start seeing 660s, 660 even on the downside. But in the SPOOs, what do we got? We're sitting here in that trading range. 1400, 1402, 1398, stuck right in there. If we trade off of that, we get much below that, we're going to go down to 1363, which we talked about I don't know how many times until I'm blue in the face, but that's what we've got. On the upside, if we can get this 1407, 1425 is going to be up there. The next couple of days, like I said, I thought it was going to be key to Friday. We're still kind of stuck in this little pattern here to try and get some validity to this top in the markets or the bottom, if you will, in the treasuries. All right, if you can't take that, take it easy.